Howdy folks, this is Frank. I'm up here at the clubhouse. Since we're supposed to be doing social distancing, I'm going to make a couple of videos to teach how to use the surveillance cameras to the best of my ability, which is not much ability. So it starts with the computer hard drive that is on the wall in the storage closet in the clubhouse. And we first have to connect the mouse and the HDMI cable, which are kept in there, around and around and around and around and around and around and around over to the monitor, which is also kept in that filing cabinet. Hook those up and plug them in, turn on the power, and then it starts the ability to see the cameras. One note to start with: when you first get logged on, or plugged in rather, on the main screen it says the account has been locked, or sometimes it says invalid password. Ignore both of those and just right click and go down to main menu, and now I'm already logged in, but if not, you would need to put in the password, which will be in my next video. Very limited notes that I have written down say to right click to get to the main menu here, and we have a password which has not been changed and maybe probably should be. Right now it's just the same as the username, which is 8888888, and hit or click, because we don't have a keyboard, enter. Okay. Next, we go to search. Clicking on search brings up this blank screen, but over on the right, it shows a calendar. All of the dates that are highlighted blue means that there's recorded activity on those days. Pretty much always going to be always blue as far back as the hard drive has enough memory, because it's recording activity virtually all the time, especially here with the 4 different cameras. At the other 2 locations, it would only record activity theoretically when there's a car going by or people going by. Anyway, for here at the clubhouse, you click on whatever date you want. In this case, we're going to go to the most recent, which is Sunday, and double click that. I'm sorry, right click that, and that took me back to search. Anytime you go right click, actually, it takes you back to search. Now you know that. Or it takes you back to the main, right click takes you back to the main menu. Okay, I'm back at the main menu. I'm going to click on search again, come over here, going to click on the 5th, which is Sunday, and the way I know that it's done that is that it highlights it then with yellow, so that's showing that's the day I'm looking at. Now, anytime that there is activity, I don't know how well this shows up because the lighting in here, if there's yellow down at the bottom here, it means activity. For whatever reason, because of our current settings, it is showing solid activity all the time. The times when I've looked at it in the past, that's not been the case. Usually it would be, especially at 2 or 3 in the morning, there would be basically nothing there. But actually this is showing afternoon. So during the daytime, it's gonna show just solid activity all the time down here. Just for fun, I'm going back to a previous day, Saturday, to highlight. And I am going to see, it's still showing solid activity the whole time. When I click on any time zone, time section down here, it's gonna bring up the cameras that were in the activity that was showing at that time. So this is at 2:30 in the morning, Saturday morning, just an example. Going back now to Sunday, the 5th. Again, it's showing solid activity. This used to not be the case. I don't know what has changed in our settings, but it is just constantly recording now, apparently with very minimal amount of activity. But then you can click on any of these time sections, like I'm going to click here at 6 in the morning, and it shows the activity we had at 6 in the morning. You will see this is obviously, it's dark outside, you're not going to see much, and from the clubhouse, you're just not going to see much, period. But you can zoom in, you can go from one camera to the other and look and see what it was recording at those times. Okay, when you first click on search, it's going to give you a blank screen here until you click on a time slot, a date and a time slot down at the bottom. And then the default is it brings up 4 cameras. Over here on the right, you can first right click and then left click, and it will take you over and show 1 through 8 cameras, which we have 6. Then if you come down to the bottom and click on a time slot, it will show all 6 cameras at the same time. Going back down here, if I click on 2 in the morning, it's showing all 6 cameras at what was happening at 2 in the morning. For the purposes of seeing activity on the road at 2 in the morning, that's basically worthless. Because even though we have a camera shining into the parking lot, you just can't see anything in the parking lot because there's not enough light there to pick anything up unless it was just right at the door. So at some point we may want more lighting in the parking lot. I don't know. All right, here I am viewing all 6 cameras at, in this case, 6:11 in the morning on Sunday morning. And you can see you can't tell a whole lot. But if you wanted to zoom in on just one camera to say, you know, just see if you could see something more, then you can come over here and click on the single pane here. Actually, you have to right click on it and then left click on it. Then come over and click on whatever camera you want. In this case, I'm just going to go to number 6. Then come back down here and click on whatever time you want to look at. I'm clicking on 6 in the morning. And now we have a view of that one camera at 6 in the morning. That one camera is just shining down at our shrubs and really pretty much worthless unless somebody was standing right in front of it or unless you had a rabbit eating through some lines. Now that I see that I don't have anything of value on number 6, I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to click right click and then left click again, which is kind of weird, but that's how you have to do it. Come down to number 5, and then again down to a time slot down at the bottom. Click on that, and then here is the other parking lot camera. But again, at nighttime, it just doesn't show really anything. So as far as street access and things like that, these are pretty much worthless. If there was a break-in in the pool and we wanted to see, or there were some kids playing around in the pool in the middle of the night or something like that, come over here, right click, and then left click and go to number 1 and come down here. Again, I'm clicking on 6 in the morning and you have the pool. There's also ways to zoom in, and I'm just not going to go into that right now. But that's how you do the basic operations. If you want to view the other cameras, the ones at the street or at the basketball courts, I've never done that, but I believe what you will have to do is take this monitor and this mouse and a table up to those cameras, plug in there, go through this same process. So I've plugged it in. I'm going to right click and go to main menu. I'm going to go to search. Now in this case, it didn't bring up and ask for a password because I'm already logged in. I'm going to go to search. It brings up all the camera views. In those cases, it will only be one camera view. So for right now, I'm just going to go to one, just to give an example. Then I'm going to come down here and click on whatever time I want. In this case, I'm choosing 2 in the morning. And we have a view of what was happening in the pool at 2 in the morning. So if you wanted to view the other cameras, then you would have to, like I say, take the monitor and the mouse and a table and hook up to those cameras where they are and go through this same process at those monitors there, at those cameras there.